Have you ever met someone who draws people in effortlessly, who has that charisma that we all wish we had? Well, I definitely know a couple of people like that, and I am currently working on becoming that person, and so can you. By the end of this video, you're gonna know how to walk in a room and own it and be the most interesting person in that room. So there are some misconceptions that in order to be the most interesting person in the room, you have to be the richest, you have to be famous, or you have to be the loudest person in the room. And we all know sometimes nobody can stand the loudest person in the room. So those are obviously all incorrect. Being interesting is a skill that any of us can develop. Nobody is born just coming out being interesting. That is something that we work on. There are three pillars that you must have to be an interesting person. Pillar number one is storytelling, knowing how to tell your life story in a way that is compelling. Number two is social skills, knowing how to interact, having great manners. And number three is just a memorable presence, being able to be memorable when you go in a space. Like, wow, was that conversation I had with so and so memorable? Are you giving people opportunities to tell their stories, and are you actively engaging, not just engaging just so you can give a reply so you can make yourself seem more poppin' or seem more interesting? No, that's not what we're doing here. We are working on our charisma and us being more interesting, but also being interesting and having amazing manners. So we're going to work on pillar number one right now, mastering the art of storytelling. Storytelling makes us captivating because it gives us the opportunity to tell our story in a way that we want to, in a way that clearly articulates our story, in a way that impacts the people who we are in the room with. So I'm going to teach you all a quick formula called the hook, build, and pay off formula. This formula is going to help us tell better stories. And I know most of us, when we hear the word storytelling, we're thinking about lying, but no. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about telling our truthful stories in a way that makes the maximum impact possible. So we're going to go ahead and talk about hook. So with the hook, you start with something unexpected. So you are going to hook in your audience, whoever you're talking to, by saying something unexpected or something interesting or a quote or a statistic, something that will just hook them right on in to listen to what you have to say. Then we are going to work on the build. So the build is adding relatable details and emotions. So let's say you're going to a networking event. You are going to hook in the people who you are talking to by saying something about what you do for work and your most favorite part about it. What do you love doing? What do you do? Then you're going to build it by adding details and emotions and working on your voice and your tone, just engaging them. Then you're going to work on the payoff, meaning the payoff is you're going to add something that is meaningful, funny, or insightful. So an example of this would be, let's say I am going to a networking event. So I meet somebody at the networking event and I'm going to introduce myself. Hi, I am China. I am a confidence coach and speaker who love helping women create lives that they deserve and that they want to build. So that's me hooking people in, like, ooh, what she mean by lives that they? She emphasized they. What does she mean by that? And then the details, I would go into detail about how I do that through practical tips, through my YouTube, different things like that. And then I am going to have that payoff by making it meaningful. I love to crack some jokes and have a little kiki, so throw some funny things in there. So I'm definitely encouraging each and every one of you to practice storytelling in your daily conversation. So as you're going to work tomorrow, whatever you're doing, think to yourself, okay, how did I hook them? How did I build? How did I have a payoff? Definitely making sure that you're always constantly thinking about those three things. So next, we are going to work on developing magnetic social skills. Social skills are so important in this life. They are more important than how many degrees you have, how many accolades you have. Your social skills will make or break you in this world. So please remember that. Remember Yes, remember that your social skills will make or break you. So, the first thing with social skills, be present. When you are talking to people, when you are engaging with people, work on deep listening. So, not just listening to respond, but listening to figure out what the root of what the person is saying. And don't just think about, okay, I know how I'm going to say, I know what I'm going to say back. I know I have a great rebuttal. No, like listening and making sure that you are taking away from the conversation what they intended on you to take. Make sure you master the art of asking good questions. I know some people are like, oh, there's no such thing as dumb questions. That is a lie, and I really wish people would stop telling that lie. A good question and the art of asking questions is using open ended, thought provoking questions. Ask people things that are not just yes or no questions. Ask people things that require them to give you detail while you're practicing that deep listening. Match and elevate the energy. So adjust to the vibe and add your own charm. So if you go into a room that's like for me, I have a very big personality. I'm kind of loud depending on who you ask. But certain rooms, I don't necessarily tone my personality down, but I do tweak it. So I'm not going to go to a gala and be as loud as I normally am at happy hour with my friends. So just knowing how to read a room, and then also use something called a name trick. So the name trick is remembering people's names. People love hearing their own name. So when I'm in conversation, I make sure I throw in somebody's name. So they tell me their name is Jim. I'm gonna make sure when I'm talking, I'm like, oh yeah, Jim, I definitely think X, Y, and Z. So definitely, that name trick is a game changer. So quick challenge. Next time you meet someone, ask them about something they love and watch how they light up and let them talk, honey. Because one thing they're gonna do is talk. We love talking about things that are important to us and things that we love. And build a memorable presence. Have something about you that people are always going to remember. So, I am leaning more into my old ways of having a memorable presence of always having on a red lip. I'm going back to that because I love a red lip and I just want to add to my memorable presence, my unique style, or your signature trait. So for some people, it could be a fashion choice, it could be a phrase, it could be an attitude, or something just very distinct about you that no matter where you go, that's going to be your thing. So some people have signature hairstyles. They're always going to have that hairstyle. Some people have signature makeup looks. I have a signature makeup look. Some people have a signature phrase they say. So just figuring out what your unique style or signature trait is. Confidence in your quirks. Like people remember authenticity over perfection. I am loud. I am going to say some words that people may not understand, and I have to clear just due to like accent and like area where I'm from, all of that. But I am authentically me. There's no room that I go into that I'm not going to say what I want to say, and I'm not going to kiki the way that I want to kiki. I'm going to show up as myself, and people tend to respect that. So whatever that looks like for you, be yourself. If you are more introverted, try to find a way to be the best introverted person you can be. Like definitely using your gifts and talents and making sure you maximize those in spaces. Embrace playfulness and curiosity. Be the person who makes life more fun. I am known, depending on who you ask, for being the life of the party. Like I love coming into a space like, girl, why are you in the corner? Come over here. Whether I know them or not, I love engaging people. So figuring out what your playfulness and curiosity could do for you in these type of settings. And have a quick visualization right now. So what we're going to visualize is imagine walking into a room where people are naturally drawn to you, and that's what we're crafting right now. We are going to work on making sure that we are the most interesting person in a room, whether that's through our style, because style is another, I know we already talked about this, but just circling back, style is another thing that will make you the most interesting person in the room. If you are the best dressed, if you have on the brightest color, whatever it is, or if you're the most confident, if you have on that black suit that you love and you walk in with your head held high, you're the most interesting person in the room. And so we're going to talk about the effortless charisma formula. So we talked about mastering storytelling. We talked about mastering those social skills. And we are talking about building a memorable presence. That is the effortless charisma formula that you will have to constantly work on and work on until you excel at it. And somebody to me who just exemplifies effortless charisma. I love the way celebrities are on the red carpet. Even though it's hundreds of them on the red carpet, each and every one of them own that carpet like it is theirs. And I want us to take that and apply that to our own lives. Because to me, all of this is rooted in confidence. You have to confidently own every room that you are in, and one, know that you belong to be there because God put you there. So try implementing just one of these tips today and see how people respond differently. So maybe this week you are going to work on storytelling this week, of telling better stories, engaging better in conversation, or you're going to work on your social skills, or you're going to work on building a memorable presence and figuring out your signature traits or your unique personal style. So let me know in the comments what tip resonated with you the most. And make sure you do it in the comments. Also, make sure that you sign up for my email list, because that's where all of the amazing things that we are doing over here, I'm going to share those. So make sure you sign up as soon as possible. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And if you want more content on confidence, social skills, and skyrocketing your social presence, don't miss out. Sign up for the email list. I love you all so much, and I will see y'all here next week. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend.